is up, listeners? You're listening to Off the Rails with Morgan. Today, we're going to do a little solo podcast episode, but I want to make this focused on travel. I'm saying this because I am about to head to into frickin' Nisha. It is a Tuesday. I leave on a Thursday. Guess who is wildly unprepared, who has not packed, who has not done anything. But lo and behold, that is okay because I am at this point in my life a seasoned professional traveler. So I thought it'd be fun to do a podcast. I'm going to give you my top 20 hot girl travel tips. And if you were a guy listening to this, which I think my demographic is pretty heavily female, I guess it can be 20 hot guy travel tips. But over my years, I have really learned a lot of what works, what doesn't work, some travel hacks, how to get places, how to pack properly, how to survive airports and long flights with ease. So I compiled a list of my top 20 tips. So here we go. Let's just dig right into it. Number 1, in my top travel tip. Oof, this one is a good one. Y'all, number 1, invest in a good travel credit card. Seriously, it is game changing. I'm sure if you have followed me for long enough, you have heard me talk about the Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. That is my tried and true. That is what I use no matter what. And here's why you should use it. 1, I don't know what the bonus is right now. In the past, when I opened it, I want to say you spend X amount of money in the first couple months, which is pretty easy to do. And then you got maybe 80,000 points. Maybe it was 100,000. I'm not sure. They're always running different deals. So in the notes of this episode, I will link that credit card if you want to look into it. So look, meet your spending habit. I don't know, put your rent on your credit card and then you get your points and then you have 100,000 points or whatever to spend on flights and hotels and stuff like that. And beyond that, because look, 100,000 points will go pretty quick. You are going to use this little credit card for everything. I'm not kidding. I have 4 or 5 credit cards because I'm a psychopath, and anytime there's a good credit card that offers bonus points, I will open up a credit card, I will get the points, and then I will stop using that credit card. I put everything on my Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Chanel bags I just bought, put it on there. My rent, anything I put on this damn little credit card. And guess what? Now I think I have close to 400,000 points, and I can use that flights, hotels, anything like that. If you want extra tips on how to really, really utilize a travel credit card, on my Instagram page, there's a highlight. I want to say it's like travel hacks or travel wrecks. I will go through on how I book flights using this Chase Sapphire Preferred card. Look, you can go on there and you can click like the little travel tab and then you can go and book flights. But if you're really smart, you will set up accounts with the Chase Sapphire Preferred travel partnered airlines. I think I booked a flight on Air France. I think there's Air Canada, and then it's a whole thing, guys. I should do a whole entire episode just on flight hacking. But then you can transfer those credit card points to those airline partners if you have accounts. It's a whole thing. Anyways, go look at the Instagram story highlight. That is my tip number 1. Get a freaking travel credit card and then put all of your stuff on that card and then utilize the points. So many people look at me, and yes, I'm very blessed with my sister's flight benefits. I get that. But they're like, I don't understand how you do this. You can do it smartly, and it all revolves around points and saving them, etc. So that's number 1. Number 2, speaking of flight attendants, here's my second tip, which I actually did right. Date a flight attendant. Okay? If you're a single person out there, we are not going for finance bros. We're not going for trust fund 6'5" blue eyes working in finance. We're going for 5'8" brown eyes works in the airline system, because then you can get a buddy pass or a standby pass. And that is how I, honest to God, am able to travel as much as I do, because I can fly standby. And if not, I get 20% off all United Airlines, thanks to my good old sister. But obviously, some of you guys are listening to this podcast and you're already dating someone who does not work as a flight attendant, or you are married. So, okay, here's my next tip. So a little sub tip under number 2. Google flight alerts are your best friend. So say you and your family want to go to Hawaii and you're planning a year in advance, go on Google Flights, literally googleflights.com, and you can set price alerts. So your price point, the time you're looking to go, where you're looking to go, and then you will get alerted when they drop, raise, whatever. Look, for fun, this is how psychotic I am with travel. Like, just for funsies, I'll go on Google Flights and I don't know, like I was looking up a flight to Singapore, or a flight from Singapore back home just to, see. I wanted to say at one point it was like $400. Me and my mom were talking about this and I was like, dude, Mom, $400 to go to Singapore, like halfway across the world? Like, I know people think that flying internationally is expensive, which it definitely can be. But if you're smart about it and you plan it well in advance or you go on off times, y'all, it can be so cheap. So utilize freaking Google Flights. Number 3, and so I'm starting off with like a general category, and these are just general travel tips. And then we're going to go into my packing tips, my airport tips, and then we're going to close out with some more tips. So under number 3 in like general, my Morgan's 20 hot girl general tips would be, look, this is my rule of thumb. You guys can argue with me. I'm not an Airbnb girly. So my number 3 tip is do not stay in an Airbnb if you're staying 5 days or less. I think it is always worth staying in a hotel if you're there for a short amount of time, or if an Airbnb has like 5-star reviews. If it has all just absolute glowing reviews, sure, I guess that is an exception to the rule. But here's why I'm saying this. 5 days or less, you're not making meals there, okay? You don't need a kitchen. It is always a pain in the ass. Look, every Airbnb experience I've had some really lovely ones. I'm actually going to go the month-long stay in Lisbon. I booked through Airbnb, so like fingers crossed that it's a good experience. But 9 out of 10 times, it is a pain in the ass to get your key. You have to wash the towels. You have to clean up when you leave. Like, it's honest to God a pain in the ass. I don't understand why people just thirst over Airbnbs if you're staying a short amount of time. Look, I like hotels, especially when I am rolling up to a foreign country and I'm staying there like 3 nights and I'm bopping to another place. It is just, I'm sorry, worth it for peace of mind. You go and get your key. You can get room service. You get your bed turned down. You get fresh towels. It's just easy. So, rule number 3, 5 days or less, do not stay in an Airbnb. Feel free to message me and argue with that, okay? I'm all ears, but that is just what works for me. Number 4, if no one will go with you, go freaking solo. I'm sorry. I stand behind that. I believe that. Majority of the people who go on my Miles with Morgan's trip, so if you're new here, I host group trips, and a lot of people go, I'd say 99% of people go solo, and they show up and they leave with so many new friends. And everyone leaves and they say, I am so thankful because none of my friends wanted to travel with me. I was so scared and I pushed myself to do the unknown and I just went and showed up and I loved the experience. So if you want to go somewhere and your friends are married, you're the only single friend, your friends can't take off work, freaking go solo. I promise you, you will not regret it. And if you're scared to solo travel, start small. I think group trips are an awesome option. I obviously host my Miles with Morgan. They do sell out very quickly. I will say my last 3 trips sold out all 24 spots in under 20 minutes, which is psychotic. Okay, I would love to have you. I'm hoping to add more to my schedule. If that you cannot get into a Miles with Morgan trip, I go through a company called trovatrip.com. I really like them. They have a bunch of hosts that host other trips. I think that is a super awesome option to go on a trip if no one in your home life will go with you, but you're a little too scared to just jump the gun and go to a foreign country solo. Start a little group trip, okay? But you are not allowed to use that excuse of no one will go with me. No, nope. You can do it by yourself. I promise. Number 5, this is a huge one, okay? And I have done this since I was like 18 and I was going to Cabo on spring break. And I just remember my mom and dad were like, you're going to print a photo of your passport and you are going to pack it with you. One, because I don't trust an 18-year-old going on a drunken college spring break trip to come back in one piece with their passport. My mom was like, I don't want you to be lost in Mexico. And even now to this day, when I go to another country, I will obviously have my passport, my ID. I photocopy my passport and bring it with me. You don't know what will happen. And do I think a paper passport will actually work at an airport if you're trying to get home and you don't have your passport? No, but I think it is really important just to have that documentation of like proof of like, hey, I am who I say I am. And if you want to take it another step further, I always send my parents, and you can send your parents, your friends, send someone just a picture of your passport. You don't know, say you lose all your luggage, say God forbid you get robbed, which by the way, like, let's hope you're not going to a sketchy place and that doesn't happen, but you never know. You can never be too prepared. Say your little photocopy passport gets stolen as well. Just make sure someone has it. They can send it to you. They have a copy. Better safe than freaking sorry, okay? Okay, moving on to some packing tips. Number 6, invest in a freaking good suitcase. Y'all, look, I used to be the girl. I was rolling up to TJ Maxx, to Marshall's. I was just getting a cheap, cute suitcase. They always broke. And there's nothing worse than being in a foreign country on little cobblestone streets and your suitcase is broken. Please invest in a good suitcase. My favorite is Base. If you want a good rolling suitcase, look, I know they're expensive. No, I don't have a discount code. I need to DM them. I'm sorry. It's just worth the money. I would invest in the large roller suitcase. I want to say it's like 29 inches maybe. And then I would invest in a good rolling carry-on suitcase. I promise you, spend the $500-600. It will last you a long time. Also invest in a good carry-on. I do like the Base, what are they? Like the mini weekender. The mini weekender does fit under your seat. You kind of got to kick it hard for it to shove right under there. But I do think it is worth it with all the compartments. It's my favorite carry-on. If you are a backpack carry-on girly, I don't love the Base backpacks. I'm sorry, Base. Don't hate me. Like, I love everything else. I don't think the backpacks are worth it. If you want a backpack, I love the brand called Nordace, Nordace. I believe I do have a discount code for that. Even if I did not have a sponsorship from them, I would buy this backpack. It is chef's kiss per freaking fection for traveling. Like, it has every pocket known to man. Actually, I think I'm going to bring it when I go to Bali. It's so good. So just invest in a good suitcase. I promise it'll be worth it. Number 7, freaking packing cubes. Y'all, if you have not jumped on the packing cube train, it will make your life 10 billion times easier when you travel. I promise. Nothing gives me more anxiety than just having a suitcase open and have an explosion of clothes. Like, there's 2 types of people, okay? There's the people that shove everything into a suitcase. There's no rhyme or reason, and they open it up. And I don't know how these people do it. It's like the type B people of the universe. They know where everything is. It'll be like one sock here, a bikini bottom, and they somehow open the suitcase and they find their whole entire outfit. No. That gives me severe anxiety. The other type of person, you're a packing cube person. You're the type A girl. Everything is laid out and organized. When you open your suitcase, it's like angels singing, okay? It gives you peace. You've got your little packing cube of your going out outfits. You've got your packing cube of loungewear. You've got a packing cube of socks and underwear. I promise you, just be a packing cube person. It makes life easy, okay? And if you want to take it a step further, you're like me, this is how I do it. I tried and true, this works every time. I have a packing cube of daytime outfits. And then what I like to do is I like to label everything, and I will put a sticky note on the packing cube, daytime. Nighttime outfits, sticky note. Then I'll do swimwear, sticky note. I do activewear, sticky note. And then I do like small packing cubes for underwear, for PJs, for bras, stuff like that. Y'all, I'm telling you, ever since I went to the dark side of packing cubes, I will never go back. Number 8, this is actually game-changing. This is for the people who are not carry-on people, aka the reasonable people in the world. I don't know how people pack in carry-ons, but if you are flying somewhere and you're checking a bag, you are going to make sure that you put the necessities and the valuables in your carry-on with your person on that damn little airplane, okay? So what that means is you're going to pack a full day outfit. That means socks, underwear, what you can wear during the day, probably a pair of PJs, what you need for just one full day, and then you're also going to put your valuables. That means your nice jewelry, your nice purses, your ID, anything that you need on your person, you're going to put that in your carry-on. Trust me, look. I know it seems silly, right? You're like, I don't need clothes. My stuff, I've got an air tag. It'll make it. No. 1, it helps with your peace of mind. 2, these days, you just never know what's going to happen on those airplanes. And if your luggage does get lost, the last thing you want to be doing is in a foreign country or in a new place sitting in your crusty, dusty airport clothes. So make sure you always have a backup. And then also, I never trust. Like if I have anything designer, you better believe it is going with me on that airplane. I will not make the mistakes. I have heard so many people be like, yeah, my suitcase got opened up and like someone stole my Louis Vuitton or my Louboutins. I'm just like, oh, no, no. No one can be trusted. So that is tip number 8. Number 9, this is an obvious, AirTag everything. If you are not on the AirTag train, I don't know how you sleep at night, truly. I don't know how you travel without severe anxiety. I put an AirTag for sure in my check bag. I definitely put it in a carry-on because you never know. Sometimes you think you're smart, you think you're savvy. Okay, you get to the gate and they're like, oh my God, the overhead storage is full. We're checking your bag. Oh, hell to the no, you're not. I try and argue every single time and I always lose. So in that case, I always make sure to have an AirTag on literally anything that I'm carrying. I think they're like $70-$80 on Amazon. I promise you, it is worth every single penny. Number 10, and this is key. If you want to avoid overpacking and you want to avoid like a 70-pound suitcase that you are frantically trying to unpack when you weigh it at the airport, which look, we have all been there. There is no worse feeling. So number 10, in order to combat overpacking, you are going to make a detailed, I'm not kidding y'all, a detailed packing list. And I just did this for Bali. This is about the only thing I've done for this trip. You're going to open your notes phone and you are going to write out every single day that you're there. I'm not kidding. You're going to write the date. So like August 31st day. And then you're going to write out everything that you're doing that day. If you don't know, that's fine. You put free time. But for me, it was like, okay, arrive. Day 2, we're going to the pool. Then we're going to Sunset Drinks. And I go to day 3. And you're going to write out everything, okay? That is your base. And then from there, you are going to go and you are going to write out your outfits for every single day. So it's like, I need a workout outfit for the morning. I need a loungy daytime outfit. I'm going to Sunset Drinks, so I need like a cute cocktail dress, okay? So then we're going to fill out from there. Then we're going to take it a step further as you are packing and you're going through and you're looking at everything you need per day. You are going to take pictures of those things. You're going to put them in your suitcase and then you're going to upload them in your notes. Super easy. Copy and paste it. Put it in the notes. And then you're going to have everything to refer back to as you travel. You're going to know where it is because you have your organized little packing cubes. You're not going to overpack because you're just packing the essentials. Well, I also like to bring some options, okay? I'm not super crazy. But you have the main essentials and then some fun items. And then it just takes away the pressure of like, I don't know what the hell I'm wearing. Yes, you do because you made a note. Okay, number 11, we're moving on to some airport hacks. This is probably the best travel hack I have to date. And look, y'all, I am at this point, a pro traveler. Here's what you're going to do. The day that you are traveling, you are going to text yourself or text someone who's picking you up from the airport. Text someone the code of your flight. So for example, if you're like United, it's like UA123, something like that. You're going to text that to yourself. Then anytime you need to refer back to that, you are just going to click on that link in your phone. You're not going to check your ticket. You're not going to check the crusty, dusty screens at the airport because those are very unreliable. Anytime you need any information on your flight, you're going to click this little link. I'm going to show you. It's magical. In my phone, I already texted myself before this podcast. Let me pull it up. I just made up a number. So I typed in UA376. We're going to watch. Okay. As you can see here, texted myself. I clicked the link. You can preview flight. You can copy the flight code. We're going to preview flight. Okay, this is a random one. It's Denver to Atlanta. Love that. But on this little flight code, you can pull it up on your phone. It tells you your gate. It tells you what time you're departing, you're arriving, tells you how long your flight is, and it tells you the baggage claim. And even better, it updates in real time. So if your flight is delayed, it's going to show in this link. If someone is trying to track your flight on when they want to pick you up, and it's always sus. It says you're going to land at 8:30 in the morning. Lo and behold, surprise, you're landing at 7:50. There's like a crazy tailwind. You can always refer back to that. It is truly game-changing. If you're an anxious travel girly, I promise you, this will put your mind at ease. The best travel hack ever. Okay, just do it. Number 12, if you are out there in 2024 and you do not have TSA Pre-Chec yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? Truly, truly, truly. It is like $78. It lasts for 5 years. Truly the easiest process. I think I went online, I made an appointment at Staples. You go, you fill out some paperwork, you get it. It is game changing. Especially like the Nashville airport is, for some odd reason, the lines for security are insane. TSA Pre-Check, waltz right through. I don't have to take my shoes off. You don't realize how much of a luxury that is until you're able to go through security and not take your shoes off. Like, I really took that for granted growing up. And now it's like, I can leave my laptop in my bag, all the things. I promise you, honestly, I don't know. I don't know why people don't do TSA Pre-Check. Like, yes, I guess $78 is maybe a little bit much. I'm telling you, I would spend $780 if it meant I got to do TSA Pre-Check. It is so worth saving the time at the airport. Number 13, and this is a controversial one. Some people don't like it, but look, curbside check-in is also worth it. No. You're going to first go in and you're going to see at the airport when you're checking in your bags, okay? If there are no lines, we're not going to worry about curbside check-in, okay? We're going to go in, you're going to check your bag, you're going to get a little tag. Now, if you go in there and the line for bags to check is just wrapped around the building, which does oftentimes happen, and you're frantic and frazzled, you're going to waltz your little booty outside and you're going to go to curbside check-in. And I know some people are like, oh my God, I don't have cash. How do I tip? They now take tips via Apple Pay. You can pay with a credit card. You can pay with your phone. You're going to check your bag out there. It literally will go straight to your gate. But here's the kicker. You want to always make sure to tip. Now, I don't know if this is like an actual fact, but I did have someone tell me, I think it was my hairdresser actually. His friend did curbside check-in, did not tip the guy, and his bag did not make it. Now, that's like probably a 1 in 100 chance, but I will say I do curbside all the time. I make sure to tip. I'm smiling. I'm happy. My bag always makes it, and I skip such a massive line in the airport. I'm telling you, game changing. Number 14, a travel tip for my carry-on people. Now, I have not done this because I think we all know I'm not team carry-on, okay? I'm always 50-pound check bag, even when if I'm going for 3 days, but this is coming from my friend Melina, who actually just did this. She went somewhere in Europe, and I don't know how this woman packed in a carry-on, but she did. There is the pillow hack for for airports. Did you know that if you're flying with a carry-on, you can have a personal item, you can have a carry-on, so like your little rolling bag that goes ahead, and you can have a pillow to sleep on. So if you are going to do a carry-on and you have a long trip, you're going to take a pillowcase. You're going to take out the pillow and you're going to shove it with legitimately all of your clothes. So anything soft like sweatshirts, pajamas, honestly anything. You can put some boulders in there. As long as it's in a pillowcase, they have to let you on the plane with that because it's something you're going to sleep on. So just a little fun fact. I don't know. Maybe next time bring an empty pillowcase. And if you want to go shopping in Europe, say you want to buy a bunch of stuff, shove it in that pillowcase on the way home. Look, you're a carry-on person now. Number 15 for my airport travel hacks, bring a freaking water bottle. Now, I know a lot of people say this is like a big travel hack and they'll bring a water bottle with frozen, like freezing the water inside because you can go through security, you can go through TSA as long as it is frozen. That honestly seems like a little bit of work for me. I would rather just bring an empty water bottle and then fill it up at the airport. But I promise you, it comes in handy when traveling. You don't want to carry around a plastic water bottle. You're going to get thirsty. You're going to get dehydrated. You're going to want to constantly refill a water bottle. So make sure to bring a good one. I'm a Stanley girl. I don't think they're very travel friendly. Like maybe just like, honestly, I will bring a shaker bottle with me. I think it's very convenient, but you're going to want some kind of water bottle. Major key. All right, number 16 on my top travel tips. This is going to be the bags inside of bag tip. And I promise you, a little bit of organization goes a long way. So once you're already on the airplane, you've got your carry-on, you are going to put a bunch of bags inside your bags. We don't want like loose things flopping around. You don't want your ID falling out. You want to know where your AirPods are. You want to know where your skincare is. I promise you, go on Amazon, buy just like, I will type in like toiletry cosmetic bags. You can buy like a pack of 3 and you're going to separate everything. So I will do my airport or airplane essentials in one bag. So that is skincare, makeup wipes, deodorant, toothbrush, contact case, saline solution, like anything that you need to really freshen up and take care of yourself. That is going to go in one bag, easy access. Then you're going to have like your travel documents essential bag. So that is your ID, your credit cards, your cash, your passport, the photocopy of your passport. That is going to go into another bag inside your plane carry-on. And this is like your carry-on that goes under your seat that you have easy access to. And then from there, I like to do like an electronics bag. So I will do like my AirPods. I like having like the little AirFly thing that connects your AirPods to the TV, my chargers, like anything you need technology-wise, phone charger, portable charger, that's going to go in a bag. Then I like to have like a little snack bag. So that's organized. What else do I have? I think that's like the essential categories, but I promise y'all, the second you can figure out how to put bags inside of bags and keep it organized, chef's kiss, game changing. Okay, number 17, we have our long haul flight essentials. And these are things that I absolutely must have on flights that are honestly like even LA to New York. I consider that a long haul flight. Like any flight over 5-6 hours, you need these, especially international flights, especially if you're going overseas. These are game changing. Number 1, and I made fun of my mom the first time she told me this, but they actually are game changing, compression socks. This is for more flights where they're like 12 hours, unless you want like full on blown up cankles. Compression socks are game changing. Just go on Amazon, buy a pair. They're kind of lame, but I promise they are worth it. If you do not have compression socks, I would recommend getting up like every couple hours just to stretch your legs, to get the blood flowing. If not, you're going to feel a little crusty and dusty when you land. You're going to be creaking, okay? But that's fine. I've done it before where I slept literally 15 hours and I woke up. Didn't feel well, but you'll flush it out eventually. From there, noise canceling headphones, major key. A neck pillow, also major key. I just got one. I'll link it in the show notes, where some neck pillows are not that great. Like I've done the inflatable ones. I've done the ones that you buy at the airport. They're all kind of shitty, but I got this one and it's like a roly-poly. Like it looks like a snail. It goes in like a full little circle, and I don't know what it does, but it supports your neck no matter what direction you turn your head. Major key. And I know a lot of people make fun of people. Like I've seen TikToks and they're like, ugh, people with neck pillows, like why? Like suck it up, buttercup. I do think it is essential for me to sleep. The other essential for me to sleep is a freaking face mask. I have left one at home before and I thought I was going to have a full-blown anxiety attack on the airplane. If you want to actually sleep, well, I've got a couple of tips on that one. One would be a cocktail of drugs to knock yourself out. But if you don't want to be extreme like me and take some Xanax and Tylenol PM, which I wouldn't recommend, an eye mask is essential because you don't know who's going to be next to you with the light on, with the TV on. I would say that and earplugs, major key. I also would say liquid IV. Bring some liquid IV with you or electrolytes. You are going to get so insanely dehydrated on airplanes, so I like to do that. I also double up on my water bottles. I'll bring a water bottle, and honestly, I will go buy a couple in the airport because I chug water like no other for some reason. I get so dehydrated on airplanes, and like the little water cups that they give you, not going to cut it. We're trying to drink gallons on that airplane, okay? You are also going to get, I personally think this is worth it. Some people argue with me, the AirFly Bluetooth device. It is a little device that you plug into the airplane. Watch a YouTube video on how to work it because it is a little bit confusing. And it allows you, instead of using the icky airplane headphones where you can hardly hear anything to watch movies, you can watch the movies from your AirPods, which is actually game-changing. So I think that is absolutely worth it. A journal, because I don't know about y'all, I do my deepest thinking on airplanes. Legitimately, 9 times out of 10, I start crying on an airplane. For some reason, looking out at the wings when I'm in the sky, I just get really emotional. So I think it is major key to have a journal and a notebook. I also think that helps ease anxiety a lot. A book is worth it because you never know when the Wi-Fi is not going to work. You never know if the TV isn't going to work. You definitely want a book, and then also snacks because sometimes the airplane food sucks. So anything high protein, I think is worth it. Protein bars. I like to bring little sandwiches. Uncrustables are also key. Chomps, beef jerky, also key. Look, snack girlies, unite. I must have snacks on a plane. Number 18, this one is for my anxious people. I actually think this is a really important tip. I live and breathe by this brand. It's called Soul. I've talked about it on my Instagram. They are If you are kind of a nervous person, me, a nervous, anxious person, shocking. But if you're like myself, sometimes on airplanes, I just get frazzled. I have a hard time relaxing. Then it makes it hard to sleep. And when I can't sleep, then I get anxiety because I'm going to be jet lagged. It's a whole ordeal. These Soul out of office CBD gummies, I think, are so incredibly worth it. And they just came out with little travel packs that you can travel with through TSA, through the airplane. They just have like 2 of their little gummies in their travel pouch. They do have a little bit of THC in them. So people are always like, can you travel with them? I personally do. I've also DM'd the brand and I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to get detained overseas. Can I travel with these? And they're like, yeah, you're fine. So I will take some of those gummies on the airplane, especially international flights. It helps me sleep. It helps me relax. So y'all, even if I did not work with this brand as an influencer, I would promote them. I love them so much. Number 19, how to freaking beat jet lag. Jet lag's a bitch. For lack of better terms, Taylor Swift lied. Jet lag is not a choice, okay? Because we're not in private planes and we're not billionaires and I don't have a king size bed. Most of the time, my ass is sitting in economy and I'm struggling to sleep. But if you want to beat jet lag, one, I do try and always sleep on a plane, no matter what. Try and sleep some of the time. But when you get there, I don't care if you slept 10 hours on an airplane or 2 hours or 2 minutes. You are going to stay up. You are going to force yourself. You are going to drink an unhealthy amount of caffeine. Do not sleep during the day. This is my top tip. Y'all, if you're going to listen to anything from this podcast, listen to this one. I cannot tell you the last time I suffered from jet lag going to a country. Going home is always a little rough, but going there because I forced myself to stay up. So if I land at 7 a.m., I refuse to sleep until I try like 8 or 9 p.m., like after dinner when it's dark, just to make myself sleep on whatever time zone I'm in. Like, I remember when I would go to Europe with my family, my mom, like, Mom, you're crazy, girl. You crazy. She'd be like, I'm going to take a nap when I get to the hotel. She like forced us to sleep. And yeah, I guess it made me not tired and cranky, but then I was just jet lagged the whole entire trip. And now I'm 30 years old and I don't listen to Kim Willett because she's a crazy girl for doing that. And I force myself to sleep. Works like a charm. Later, the last couple of times I've been in Australia, no jet lag. I promise it works. And number 20, my last hot girl travel tip. This one, actually, this is just like what I apply to my daily life, but my screen time averages like 23 out of 24 hours a day. Multiple portable chargers. When you travel, bring multiple. I'm not like at least one. I like to travel with 2. I will link my favorite one in the show notes. Look, you never know when you're going to lose your charger, when your phone's going to die. If you're in a foreign country, maybe your adapter doesn't work. Maybe I've been on airplanes before where the charging ports don't work and my phone's on like 20%. If you have a portable charger, you're saved. You're good to go. Also, when you're traveling, like beyond even on an airplane, which I just think it's very convenient to have a portable charger. Beyond that, you never want to be traveling and your phone is going to die. Like I just think, and in this day and age, you're on Instagram, you're downloading maps, we're always just on our phone. They're always, it seems like, on the verge of dying, which I mean, maybe that's just my case. You just never, I always think better safe than sorry. You don't want to be in a foreign country and be like, oh shit, my phone died. I can't call an Uber. I can't call the police if I need to. I'm not saying you need to do that, but I really do it. When I was racking my brain for like this last travel tip, I was like, portable chargers, that would be the last one. So guys, there you have it. A quick and easy little episode. I hope this was incredibly helpful. I will try and do more of these just because I feel like I get a lot of questions on how to travel, the best travel tips, and I feel like I'm just like a slew of information. So with these solo podcasts, I do obviously want to give you guys story times, give you life updates, but I'm also like, let me give the people some advice, man. So expect more of these short little mini episodes as the season goes on. Just kidding. We're actually at the end of season 2. So I think after this, I only have 3 or 4 more episodes. We're going to take a little break, but I will come back strong in season 3. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're still tuning in at the end of this little podcast, oh my God, I should say one off the rails thing. Okay, I forgot to do that at the beginning of this episode, but as you know, in this podcast, we're not just about mindfulness and advice. We're a little off the rails. What is the last off the rails thing that I've done? Wow, I feel like I've been like oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed by this one. I'm actually not. Okay, so this is actually my friend Heather's fault, but Thunder from Down Under is a cringy, gross strip show. Not a strip show, but kind of, in Las Vegas that I've been to a few times. I think I've told this story on here, but the story of Chocolate Thunder, if you know, you know. I had an encounter with a male stripper named Chocolate Thunder. But my friend Heather, I don't know how she came across this, but she sent me an Instagram post where Thunder from Down Under is coming to Nashville. So, of course, then we start creeping, and I came across, I'm not kidding, the most gorgeous man I've ever seen. Now, guys, let's keep in mind, he's a stripper, but that's okay. Beautiful. I was like starstruck. I was like, this man is insane. And I think he's Australian, which we all know. I'm sad. Whatever. That just made me sad saying that. But I do like an Australian. So Heather's like, he's moving to Nashville. I was like, should I DM him? And like me and Heather, when we feed off of each other, it's just bad news. It's bad news. Literally never let me and Heather on the loose together. We will burn a city to the ground. She's like, yeah, you should DM him. So I DM'd him. I DM'd a stripper who's moving to Nashville. What do I think is going to happen from this? Absolutely nothing. But this is what I did. I just said, Nashville, ? Like thinking that was like a slick pickup line or anything would happen. And he did DM me back. And he just sent a cowboy emoji, like a tongue emoji, and like a party emoji. I was like, fucking sick, bro. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know what I was going to do with that information, but that is the most off the rails thing that I did lately. Cool. Maybe he'll give me free tickets to his Thunder from Down Under show in Nashville. That seems like fun. That seems like a wholesome activity that maybe I would bring my mom to if she was in town. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. Make sure to like, listen, subscribe. I feel like I don't ask this enough, but apparently like downloads and listens really matter. If your girl is trying to get signed to a network, which she really is, we're shooting for the stars. Okay. So if you want to tell your friends about this, if you want to give me a rating, that would mean a lot. If you want to share it to your story, that would also mean a lot. And that's it for me. I will see everyone next week. And I think the next time I'm doing this podcast, I will be reporting from Bali. Oh boy. Hopefully I don't get Bali belly again. Okay. That's it for me. Bye guys. Thanks so much for listening to Off the Rails podcast. It's been real, it's been unhinged, and I'll see everyone next week. In the meantime, do all the podcast things, like, listen, leave a 5-star review, and catch up with me on socials at Off the Rails with Morgan. Bye.